Hi friends. Well, with this quantum jumping, the first of 2013, I thought I would talk about the incipient phases of quantum jumping, the beginning, the meditative state. In the Dear Burt blog, those of you who watch it, I'm speaking about the Bhagavad Gita. And I won't get into that, although quantum jumping can help there as well. And if we get into it in depth in another website, we will be bringing in quantum jumping as well. Although the Gita, the way that we will be expounding on it, the goal is total detachment, and that is not exactly what we're doing in quantum jumping. In quantum jumping, we're using that meditative state to go through the door and motivate us to take an action, to gather the rhythm of that doppelganger self. And once we have that rhythm, the action becomes a little bit easier for us. But let me back up. The first thing we're going to do is to get to the meditative state, the jumping off state. Now, there are different ways, there are dozens of different ways to begin a meditation. We've been using the 3-to-1 method. And if you're comfortable doing that, that's fine. Keep at it. If it works for you, don't change it. If it's not working, well, maybe we do want to make a change. And what kind of a change do we make? First step is to be comfortable and close your eyes, of course. That's the formal way to use quantum jumping. Although I often use it while I'm walking down the street. I could be talking to someone, and if I want to gather a little bit more information, I'll do a bit of a quantum jump right then and there and go into another area and get information. Now, you know, at one time that would sound pretty goofy. But today, with the iPads, as an example, and almost everybody has an iPad. Hundreds of millions of them have been sold. When you have an iPad, you have practically the world at your fingertips. You want to know a personality, you type in the name of the personality in Google, and boom, there it is. If they're a Wikipedia, you've got more information on them, chances are, than their mother had. You want to know what the temperature in the Himalayas is in February, type it in and you'll find it. Now, that's a mechanical device. Well, how much more effective, how much more efficient can we be using a mental device? We have all that information and more stored up with our variety of doppelgangers and twin selves and different events and different areas of life, different places that we've been, that we are. Remember, with quantum jumping, whatever you can imagine is. So if you need information, it's there. Now, how do you get information? Well, what do you want information on? For me, I usually want information on something that I'm doing. As example, I may want to jump into an area where I need information on painting, which is what I've been doing of late. Or if I'm writing something, I'll go to a doppelganger, to a twin self who's already written what it is that I want to write. Now, some say, well, that's cheating. Well, how is it cheating? Anytime you get information, it doesn't matter where you're getting it from, it's your information once you get it. Use quantum jumping, you'll be using quantum jumping for more and more things in your life. Things that haven't worked in the past, now you can do it again. Now, you know, there's an old homily that says, if you do it the same way, you have to expect the same result. Well, with quantum jumping, you're not doing it the same way. As a matter of fact, every time you do it, you're doing it differently because you're going to a different twin self who's doing it differently. You want some information on something, you want to be creative on something. Go to a twin self that's doing it, then go to a different twin self that's doing it in another way. Go to a twin self who did it in the past. Go to a twin self who's doing it in the future. Go to a prehistoric twin self. You have a twin self in every imaginable venue. every imaginable age, every imaginable time, every imaginable city. You have a German twin self, a Dutch twin self, a Saudi Arabian twin self, an Israeli twin self. You have a twin self who is a genius, and you also have a twin self who's a dummy, but you don't want to go there. You get the idea? Now, I mentioned that sometimes I'll be walking down the street, and now why would I go into a quantum jump when I'm walking down the street? Sometimes I'll do it recreationally. Sometimes I'll do it for if I want to take a different action. Sometimes I'll do it if I want a little bit more information. Now, do you always get information? No. It's not a magic wand. It doesn't work all the time. Nothing does. Nothing works all the time. Well, I shouldn't say that. Meditation works all the time. When you meditate and totally detach yourself, but that's for the dear Burt. That's not for quantum jumpers, because quantum jumpers don't detach themselves. But then again, they do. Is that a contradiction? No, because anything that you can imagine is. Sometimes when I want to meditate, and somehow there's too many butterflies in my mind, and usually when I meditate, I don't go 3 to 1, 2 to 1, 3, 3, 3, 2 to 2. I just close my eyes and concentrate on this spot right here, and I'm meditating. But sometimes I can't do that. Why? I'm restless. So what do? I quantum jump to a me who isn't restless. And now I see that image. I'm observing that image. And then what do? You should know. After you observe, what do? You merge. Exactly. And so I merge with that self, and now I'm doing it. And now I'm meditating. If I were to do it now as an example, I'm talking, and I want your mind is always a little bit ahead of your mouth. You're thinking ahead and you don't realize it. But let's say that I want to meditate right now, but I'm thinking too much to meditate. And so now I'm thinking about a me, even though I'm looking at you and through the camera's eye, I'm thinking about a me who is sitting in the lotus position. I can't get in the lotus position, but my doppelganger can. He may be Indian, I don't know. But he's in the lotus position. He's wearing a loincloth, and he's meditating, and he's got a big smile on his face. I guess he's in samadhi, the ultimate, and he's smiling. Okay, now I can see him in my mind's eye. Even though my eyes are open, I'm looking at you, and I'm observing him. And now I'm going to close my eyes for a minute, I'm merging with him. And now I'm getting his rhythm. And now I can go into the meditative state. I don't want to, so I'm going to practically force myself out of it, because if I just allowed myself to meditate, you wouldn't have heard any more words from me. I would be meditating. How's our time? I have a clock here, and I see that we're almost out of time. I hope I've gotten some points across. If I haven't, comment. If you feel that you don't want to comment here, go to Facebook. Go to Facebook/Burt Goldman. Unfortunately, I have 2 Facebooks. You'll see if you're on the right one, because the wrong one will say that it's filled and go to this link, and that'll take you to the right one. The correct one has got a lot of paintings, a lot of pictures, a lot of photographs of the wedding from the other day. So you'll know when you're on the right one. And leave your comments there. We get thousands of comments there. And I look at all of them. I look at all of them. And answer many of them. I don't answer all of them, but I do answer many of them. And if you have an important question, why don't you put urgent on it? Put urgent and I'll definitely read it. Okay? There's going to be a lot of urgencies. Okay. Wonderful seeing you again, even though I'm looking at you through your computer's eye. Burt Goldman saying goodbye for now. Have a wonderful day, a marvelous week, a sensational month. And for 2013, be there. See you next time. See you next week. Same time, same place. Goodbye for now.